What? Most men think older women are impossible to attract. They tell themselves, she's too experienced, she's too confident, she's out of my league. But the shocking truth is this: older women are drawn instantly to certain men, and it has nothing to do with looks, money, or age. The reason is hidden in psychology, and once you understand it, you'll realize that you've been sabotaging yourself without even knowing it. Stay with me, because I'm about to reveal the 6 dark secrets older women will never admit, but subconsciously crave. Miss even one of these, and she'll dismiss you as just another boy. Master them, and you'll become unforgettable. Respect before desire, the hidden doorway to her heart. Here's the painful truth: most men try to seduce older women with charm, gifts, or even arrogance. But these things don't work. Why? Because she's seen it all. She's lived long enough to know the difference between empty words and genuine actions. Older women don't fall for shallow games. The very first test you will face is respect. Respect doesn't mean calling her ma'am or acting polite in public. That surface level. Real respect is deeper. It's in how you listen when she speaks, how you look at her like she matters, how you make her feel seen in a world that often overlooks her. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly listened to her soul instead of just admiring her body? When you become that man, she can't help but soften. She relaxes, she begins to trust. And trust is the first spark of desire. This is the mistake most men make. They try to rush her, they push for intimacy too fast, not realizing that the fastest way to her body is through her heart. Respect is the key that unlocks both. So remember this: before you try to turn her on, try to turn on her sense of being valued. Because once she feels respected, she'll give you something younger women rarely can. Her complete, unshaken trust. Confidence, a leadership, the silent attraction trigger. Here's something most men never realize: older women don't have the patience to teach you how to be a man. They've already been through years of experiences, heartbreaks, and lessons. What they crave now isn't potential, it's presence. And that's where confidence and leadership come in. Think about it. A boy hides behind arrogance. He brags. He flexes his muscles. He overcompensates with money or possessions. But a man, a real man, he doesn't need to prove anything. His confidence is quiet, steady, and unshackable. When you walk into a room with that energy, she notices, not because you're the loudest, but because you're the calmest. You carry yourself like you belong, and that's magnetic. Older women test men in subtle ways. They'll challenge your decisions. They'll watch how you handle pressure. They'll look for cracks in your confidence. And here's the dark psychology behind it. She's not testing you to reject you. She's testing you to feel safe with you. If you fold under pressure, if you hesitate, if you act unsure, she loses interest instantly. But when you remain grounded, when you hold your frame, she feels something powerful. This man can handle me. This man can lead me. Leadership doesn't mean controlling her. It doesn't mean barking orders. It means guiding the energy. When you ask her out, do it with clarity. When you touch her hand, do it with certainty.
Wow.
When you plan a date, don't say, what do you want to do? Take initiative. This is intoxicating for older women because their daily lives are full of responsibility. They're leaders at work, in their families, in their social circles. But when they're with you, they don't want another burden. They want to surrender. And surrender only happens when she feels your leadership is strong enough to carry both of you. Here's the secret: confidence isn't about volume. It's about steadiness. It's in the way you hold her gaze without flinching. It's in the way you speak with certainty, not rushing to fill silence. It's in the way you remain unshaken when she pushes your buttons. Do this, and her attraction will rise before you even touch her. Because deep down, every older woman craves a man she can trust to lead. Emotional strength, the rare quality older women can't resist. Let me give you a painful truth most men don't want to hear. You can have looks, charm, and even money, but if you're emotionally weak, an older woman will lose interest immediately. Why? Because she's lived long enough to see what emotional weakness looks like. She's dealt with men who crack under stress, who hide from responsibility, who crumble when life tests them, and she refuses to carry that weight again. This is where most younger men fail. They confuse emotional strength with being cold, distant, or unavailable. But that's not strength. That's avoidance. Emotional strength means you can handle life without falling apart, and more importantly, you can handle her. Think about it. Older women have been through heartbreaks, disappointments, and real struggles. They want a man who doesn't panic when she shows her emotions. A man who doesn't retreat when she tests him. A man who doesn't take everything personally, but instead stands solid like a rock. Here's the dark psychology. When a woman tests you emotionally, she's not trying to break you. She's trying to see if you're breakable. If you snap, if you get defensive, if you sulk, she instantly knows you're not ready for her. But when you respond with calmness, patience, and control, something shifts inside her. She feels safe. And safety is the foundation of attraction. Emotional strength also means not being needy. You don't beg for her validation. You don't spiral if she takes time to reply. You don't lose your center when she pulls back a little. Instead, you stay grounded because you know who you are. That unshakable energy is intoxicating. She starts to think, oh. Finally, a man who doesn't collapse when I lean on him. A man I can actually relax with. Here's the empowerment when you develop emotional strength. You separate yourself from 90% of men because most men are reactive. They argue, they complain, they collapse under pressure, but you become unmovable. You become the man she can trust, not just with her body, but with her heart. And when an older woman feels emotionally safe with you, her femininity comes alive. She softens. She opens up. She becomes playful, passionate, and deeply sensual. And that side of her, that's the side younger men almost never get to see because they lack the emotional maturity to unlock it. So remember this, if you want to attract older women, don't just train your body, train your emotions, control your reactions, build your patience, learn to listen without trying to fix everything. That emotional discipline is the rarest turn of all. The power of presence, how to make her feel safe and desired. Here's the truth most men overlook. Passion isn't about what you do. It's about how present you are. You see, when most men think about attraction, they imagine big gestures, flashy dates, or physical intensity. But an older woman has lived through all of that. She's been impressed, disappointed, flattered, and lied to. What she craves now is something rarer. A man who makes her feel like the only woman in the world when she's with him. That's what presence is. Presence means you're not distracted. And not by your phone. Not by your insecurities, and not by the past or the future. It means that when you're with her, she feels your full attention. You look into her eyes, you notice her body language, you respond to her energy. You're not just hearing her words, you're feeling her emotions. And here's the psychology behind it. Presence equals validation. When you're fully there with her, she feels seen, valued, and desired in a way younger men almost never provide. Most men are either too busy trying to impress her or too distracted to notice the little things. But you become unforgettable because your attention makes her feel alive again. Think about the last time she laughed. Did the man she was with look at her like her laugh was the most beautiful thing in the world? Probably not. But if you do, you awaken something deep inside her. Presence is also powerful because it creates safety. When you're calm, grounded, and focused on her, she feels like nothing else matters. And that's when her femininity rises. She softens, she opens, she starts leaning into you without even realizing it. Here's an image for you. Imagine sitting with her in silence. Most men would panic, rush to fill the air with meaningless chatter. But you're calm, you smile, you touch her hand with intention, you look into her eyes without rushing. That silence becomes charged, electric, unforgettable. This is why presence is one of the most powerful forms of attraction. It tells her without words, you are my focus. You are my desire. You are enough. And once she feels that, she doesn't want to let go. She'll keep replaying that energy in her mind long after you've left. That's what makes her crave you again and again. Most men will try harder, but the man who learns to simply be there, he doesn't just attract her, he awakens her. The secret turn on, the action that makes older women open up. Here's a truth hardly anyone talks about. The biggest turn on for an older woman isn't just physical. It's emotional vulnerability met with masculine strength. Let me explain. Most men think attraction is only about showing dominance, confidence, or power. And yes, those things matter. But if all you show is strength without depth, you feel one-dimensional, almost like a mask. She can sense it, and it makes her hold back. What older women secretly crave is a man who can be strong and human at the same time. A man who isn't afraid to share a little of his story, his scars, his lessons, without dumping, without complaining, but with calm ownership. Why? Because vulnerability builds trust. Think about it. She's lived enough life to know when a man is hiding something. She can see through the bravado, the fake confidence, the rehearsed lines. But when you drop the act and reveal a little of your truth, maybe a past failure, a fear you overcame, or even a dream you're chasing, you invite her to open up too. That's the key. When you open a door, she feels safe to walk through it. And once she opens up, emotionally, attraction skyrockets. Because now, it's not just physical or mental, it's spiritual. She feels connected to you in a way younger men rarely create. Here's the psychology or vulnerability without strength or weakness. This repels her, strength without vulnerability to distance. This keeps her guarded. Strength S vulnerability per irresistible. This makes her melt. It's about balance. You don't unload your problems on her. You don't cry for validation, but you do reveal your humanity. And when she sees that you can be open while still being grounded, she respects you on a deeper level. Let me give you an example. Instead of bragging about your success, tell her how many failures it took to get there. Instead of pretending you've never been hurt, tell her how heartbreak shaped you into who you are today. Instead of acting like you have it all figured out, admit that you're still learning and evolving. That kind of honesty disarms her. It makes her trust you. And that trust, it's the gateway to her heart, her body, and her soul. Because here's the ultimate truth. Older women are tired of fake. They crave real. And nothing is more real, more magnetic, more unforgettable than a man who is both strong and open. The masculine edge, why boundaries make you irresistible. Here's something most men don't realize. Older women don't fall for the nice guy who bends over backwards. They fall for the man with boundaries. Let me explain why. What? By the time a woman reaches a certain level of maturity, she's already dealt with men who were too controlling and men who were too weak. She knows the frustration of a man who tries to dominate her every move. But she also knows the disappointment of a man who lets her walk all over him. What she craves is balance. A man who is kind, caring, and attentive, but who also has a backbone. A man who knows his worth and refuses to compromise it. That's where boundaries come in. Boundaries tell her you respect yourself. You don't need her approval to feel valuable. You won't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or games. And here's the psychology. Women don't test you to destroy you. They test you to feel where your edges are. If you fold, if you get defensive, if you allow her to lead you into weakness, she loses respect. But when you hold your ground calmly, without anger, she feels safe. Because deep down, every woman wants to know, can this man protect me? Can he protect himself? This is why boundaries are so attractive. They communicate that you're not desperate. You're choosing her, but you don't need her. You desire her, but you won't lose yourself for her. That's the masculine edge most men never develop. Think about it. When she cancels plans last minute, do you chase her or do you calmly pull back? When she flirts with another man to get a reaction, do you explode or do you smile like a king who knows no one can replace him? When she tests your patience, do you beg or do you calmly state what you will and won't tolerate? The difference is everything, because boundaries create polarity. When you stand firm in your masculinity, she naturally leans into her femininity. She respects you more. She desires you more. She feels safer and more drawn to you than she has in years. Here's the final truth. An older woman doesn't want to mother you, and she doesn't want to dominate you. She wants to meet a man who stands beside her as an equal, but with a strength she can lean on. That's the masculine edge. And when you master it, you stop chasing women because women start chasing you. Closing move with power, attract with silence. Let's pause and reflect for a second. We've uncovered something most men will never truly understand about attraction, especially when it comes to older women. And it's not about tricks. It's not about cheesy lines. It's not even about being young, rich, or handsome. It's about mastering yourself. Think back over what we've covered. 1. Confidence. Not the fake kind, but the type that radiates because you know who you are. 2. Maturity, the rare ability to stay calm, grounded, what and wise while everyone else is reactive. 3. Emotional strength, being unshakable when tested, showing her that you're the rock she's been searching for. 4. Presence, giving her your full, undivided attention and making her feel like the only woman in the world. 5. Vulnerability with strength. The secret turn, on that builds trust. Connection and intimacy on a deeper level. 6. Boundaries, the masculine edge that separates men who are chosen from men who are used. Now, here's the raw truth. Most men will never embody these traits. They'll keep chasing women with money, looks, and empty charm. They'll keep folding when tested. They'll keep hiding behind masks instead of revealing their authentic selves. but not you. If you're listening to this, it means something inside you is awake. You're tired of the games, the confusion, the chasing. You're ready to step into your true masculine power. The kind of power that doesn't shout, doesn't brag, doesn't beg. It moves in silence. It commands respect without asking. It draws women, especially older, wiser women, like a magnet. And here's the beautiful part. Once you embody this energy, it's not just women who respond differently. Life responds differently. Opportunities find you. People respect you. You attract abundance instead of chasing it, because women aren't the prize, you are. When you build your confidence, when you sharpen your mind, when you master your emotions and set your boundaries, you become the kind of man who doesn't just attract women, but inspires them. You become the man who makes them say, I've waited my whole life to meet someone like him. So here's my challenge for you. Stop asking, what do women want? And start asking, what kind of man am I becoming? Because the moment you focus on becoming the strongest, calmest, most grounded version of yourself, attraction becomes effortless. Older women won't just notice you. They'll crave you. They'll respect you. They'll fight to keep you. And all you had to do was step into the quiet, unshakable power of your masculinity. Remember this, the loudest man in the room is usually the weakest. The man who wins is the one who moves in silence. Now the choice is yours. Stay like the rest, chasing, begging, performing, or rise above, master yourself, and let women be drawn to you like iron to a magnet. Because once you understand this, you'll never have to chase again.